Hey guys, this is my vinyl collection, and I'm gonna try and get through it quickly. And it's just a small collection. It's probably less than 20 records, or there's more than 20. But yeah, the first one is Emilian, which I've got coming out on a different pressing soon. That's mine, and I don't need to talk about that because I've talked about it enough. But here's this masterpiece. Is 22 a Million by Bon Iver. And 22 a Million, to me, ignoring even the beautiful design of the album itself, especially the inside, is an album that has some of Bon Iver's work on it that is the best, I reckon. I reckon 22 Million has the best Bon Iver songs. I know everyone goes to Skinny Love and RE Stacks, but something about 22 a Million and the sounds they used, the OP1, the saxophone with the vocoder. The vocoder was amazing in Creeks, the track called Creeks. So that's 22 a Million. And another thing about 22 a Million is I heard it came out when I was 22. And that's why it has significance, because I have mental illness. And sometimes when you have mental illness, you can get ideas of reference, and the music just lined up with me in a way where what was not there was there for me. In a sense, I'm saying that what the album did to me was break my brain open and make me even more insane, and I love it for that. This is my most recent album, one of my most recent 3 albums, and it's Lana SOS by SZA. And I know there's a few songs on here that I really like. I like the Phoebe Bridgers collaboration, which I can't remember what it's called. It's called Ghost in the Machine. And I also like well, I don't know off the top of my head what the other songs I like are, because I haven't listened to it enough to have a proper opinion. But that's 4 LPs in a sleeve, and the green vinyl. Another one of my most recents is Swimming by Mac Miller, with the handwritten notes, and this is on like a marble vinyl. And yeah, it sounds really good. It's a really good quality master, and I really like it. My favorite song on Swimming by Mac Miller is What's the Use. I also like pretty much every song on there, except, well, yeah, I like a lot. Like Dunno is a really good song. Jet Fuel doesn't catch me as much as the other ones. I like Wings as well. And that's the album that got me into Mac Miller quite late in life, when it came out in 2018. Well, when the NPR Tiny Desk happened. Green Mind by Dinosaur Jr. and Puke Plus Cry is a great song on this album. And this album that I had on CD when I was a kid. When I was like 8 years old, my brother was 6 and my sister was 4. We used to listen to the whole album on the way to my auntie's and uncle's farm. And we used to play Nintendo Wii out there and play bowling on the Nintendo Wii. And Puke Plus Cry was a great song with like really overbearing acoustics. And yeah, the whole album's pretty fun. Very lo-fi production. This is one of my favorite Coldplay albums, and I think it's called Ghost Stories, which I'm not too familiar with, but Magic, Always in My Head, A Sky Full of Stars, really good songs. And my favorite artist, who I talk to quite a bit on Instagram, we got like a familiarity, but not like a friendship or anything, just like talking. Me and Hilda Score, and she's obsessed with Coldplay. But when I was having a mental episode, I heard Magic for the first time in like, I can't remember, but I saw a person in the video clip and I thought it was Adam Sandler, and I'm like, what the fuck's he doing there? But it wasn't really him, I don't think. Yeah, I'm such a tripper with that song. And then sorry about that. And then we've got my first Vinyl Moon record, which is a subscription service. This is Vinyl Moon 46, and artists on the A side is Very Yes, Gage and Blues, Epicure, OKK, Hark Madly, Suzuki, Joe Turner, Two Face, Model Man, MXMS, Low Tip. And the last 5 artists I named are from the B side. Yeah, look, it's a cool edition. Like, they always have cool marbled vinyls and stuff. Haven't listened to that too much. This is Daniel Champagne, the Nightingale collection, and it's actually signed by Daniel Champagne, because I saw him live at the Wesley in Warragul, and he played the Nightingale, which is my favorite song by him. So that's a cool piece to have. It's signed by Daniel Champagne. He's an acoustic guitarist who drums on the acoustic, kind of like Andy McGee and Ian and Ethan Case and stuff, who I've got to get a vinyl record of because I love Ian and Ethan Case. The Miseducation of Laurel Hill, which I haven't listened to yet. I can't remember how I got this. I don't know if it's from my mom's collection or if I got it. I think I might have got it in the subscription service. I used to have a copy of Flower Boy, Scumfuck Flower Boy by Tyler the Creator, but I gave it to my sister. Here's another Vinyl Moon record. And this one's called Touch, and it's volume 48. So I only had this subscription for a couple of months, and that's the color of the record. So yeah, I don't know much about this one. It doesn't really say what artists are on it. It's probably on an inner sleeve or something. Oh, here we go. I don't know any of those artists, but I know it's a good record. There's a lot of good stuff on it. This come with a subscription service, which probably came with that Laurel Hill record. This is Andrew Bird, Hands of Glory, and it's not the best record in my opinion of Andrew Bird. There's a lot better. I love his collaborations with Iron and Wine and Matt Berninger, but yeah, this album's kind of a miss for me. I haven't listened to it much. I might have to give it another chance. Alaska, The Dots. If I can remember correctly, this was a really trippy release. It's nice to have. I don't know much about it, so I'll skip that one. Stonefield. Now, I could be totally wrong about this, but I think Stonefield, As Above, So Below album is psychedelic rock, or like stoner rock, doom rock or something, but I can't remember anything about it. I think the band is female led, I think, or maybe the whole band's female, and I could be wrong about that. That'd be funny thing to be wrong about. My favorite album of all time, Jeff Buckley Grace. At least when I was a kid, smoking marijuana, drinking alcohol, and getting loaded to this album, being kind of like an edgy, kind of depressed, not depressed, but like living on the edge, wanting to die, wanting to experience death, which I still kind of do, in a good way. But yeah, Grace by Jeff Buckley has always been there for me. And this one is actually on limited edition purple vinyl, which you can see here. Probably. I don't know if you can see that actually. Here's another masterpiece, Radiohead Kid A. And this is a really good pressing. I was listening to this with my mum the other day, and Kid A is a very strong one. I'm obsessed with Kid A, and it's another delusional record. Like, I thought it meant Cale Anderson, Kid A, like Kid Anderson, and then Kid Amnesia come out, and I was like, oh yeah, I've got amnesia, and I can't remember I'm the Kid A, stuff like that. Led Zeppelin 2. This was the first record that I ever listened to that came from me exploring, rather than my parents handing me records and stuff. So like my mate Cameron Price, who was a drummer I went to primary school with, and he had an iPod. The first time I ever heard this was probably in the courtroom. I mean, in the what do they call it? The yard, playing with the kids outside the school, outside area, listening to Led Zeppelin 2 with Cameron Price on an iPod Classic that he had, which I was really jealous of. And then he let me borrow a CD later in year 7 at high school, and I listened to it on repeat on the CD player, and it became my favourite band of all time. Then I found out my mum and dad had it on vinyl record, and I destroyed that record. I pulled it apart and, got rid of all, like, I put the posters on the wall, like I cut pages out of the booklets and put them on the wall and stuff of like Robert Plant and Jimi Hendrix, and I was obsessed with Led Zeppelin. I later saw Robert Plant play some of the songs live at, I think, was it Rod Laver Arena? I saw Robert Plant play live with Playing for Change. And this is a deluxe edition. It has an extra disc of some uncut material, I think. Like studio outtakes and stuff. This is Leon LaHavis. And I love this record. It's got Weird Fishes. I can't remember what it's actually called. Is it called Bittersweet? I can't remember what it's called. But it's got a cover of Radiohead's Weird Fishes on it. It's absolutely stunning. And yeah, I love this woman. She's so amazing. Sturgill Simpson, Metamodern Sounds in Country Music. When I used to listen to Joe Rogan Experience, because I was a bit dumb back then, so I was listening to him. He had Sturgill Simpson. Well, he didn't have him on for years, but before he had him on, he used to talk about him making this psychedelic country album called Metamodern Sounds in Country Music, but he blew it out of proportion and said, like, it's this psychedelic country music that we've never heard before. It's not quite like that, but it is interesting. And Turtles All the Way Down is a good song. I will say that. And I do like Sturgill Simpson. John Martin, One World. I have a soft spot for this record, but I haven't listened to it enough to say if I really love it or not. Oops, that just fell out. That's not good. This is Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. And yeah, what can I say? Everyone knows it. Everyone loves it. Or so they should. I listened to Dark Side of the Moon again the other day. Yeah, Teenage Gizzard, which is King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Yeah. Don't know what to say about it because I haven't really listened to it properly. I've listened to some of it. I did listen to it the other day, but not all the way through. Troye Sivan, Blue Neighborhood, which I did listen to this once, but I can't remember what it sounded like. It's my favorite Billie Eilish album only for the fact that it has Oxytocin on it. And yeah, I think... Oh, and Overheated. Overheated is amazing. And Phineas is the best at production. I don't care what anyone says. Although Mike Dean's first, Rick Rubin's second. Phineas might be third. Calexico and Iron and Wine, Years to Burn. This is an amazing record. And I love every song on it. Follow the Water is my favorite song. Yeah. Calexico and Iron and Wine, Used to Burn is amazing. 2 more records left. Here's number 1. Bonobo, The North Borders, which me and my mate used to listen to and get smoke weed to when no longer friends, but this album reminds me of those times, and it was all good back then, and it felt good being around him and having this record playing in the background. And finally, to finish it off with a banger, Nirvana. Yeah, this is not my favorite. Oh, yeah, this is probably my favorite Nirvana album, is Nevermind. And no, my favorite is MTV Unplugged. That feels like a complete album in itself. Yeah, that's the one I played the most when I was a kid, is Unplugged, MTV. But Something in the Way is a banger, and so is Come As You Are. And About a Girl isn't on here, on Trippin'. Yeah. So that's that. I hope you enjoyed my vinyl record collection. That's it so far. I've given some away to my family and destroyed others. Chucked them out. But that's what I got at the moment. And it's going to be a lot bigger soon, so I thought I'd do it while I had the chance before I blow up my spot.